In this video, we'll explore a century-old legend that sits proudly on the beachfront of Rio de Janeiro, the Copacabana Palace. As Rio celebrates the centenary of one of its most famous buildings, we'll uncover some of the biggest moments in the hotel's history, often entwined with the history of Brazil. In 1923, President Epitácio Pessoa envisioned a tourism hotspot in the nation's capital, with the aim of attracting visitors for Brazil's centennial independence celebrations. Drawing inspiration from the French Riviera, entrepreneur Octavio Guinle constructed the hotel with the promise of receiving tax breaks in return, fulfilling President Pessoa's vision. The hotel also played a pivotal role in transforming a once sparsely urbanized neighborhood into the vibrant Copacabana we know today. Shortly after its doors opened, the palace found itself becoming the backdrop for an extraordinary event, an assassination attempt on President Washington Luiz. Heading to the hotel to meet his mistress, things got out of control after a champagne dinner, and the young woman shot the then president in their hotel room. The president was admitted to hospital, claiming he had appendicitis. Days later, the woman was found dead, with authorities putting it down to suicide. Shortly after, in 1934, when President Getúlio Vargas partially legalized gambling, the Copacabana Palace embraced its role as a jewel of Brazil's casino age. And among the hotel's distinguished guests was Colonel Benjamin Vargas, President Vargas's brother, who became a character in his own right. He was not remembered fondly in the palace, reportedly leaving his gun on the table while he gambled and even shooting a woman in the leg, a crime that he got away with. Gambling was then prohibited in 1946 and the Copacabana Palace had to rebrand itself. The idea now was theatre, and the hotel hosted lavish musical productions with many renowned actors. Fernanda Montenegro, potentially Brazil's most famous actress, began her career at the Copacabana Palace Theatre. Socialising between the hotel's musicians helped turn Copacabana into a thriving hub of culture. The so-called Beco das Garrafas, or Bottle Alley, is located just a couple of blocks from the palace and is known as the birthplace of Bossa Nova. In addition to hosting global celebrities from Queen Elizabeth II to Madonna, and having the iconic Brazilian musician Jorge Benjor as a permanent resident, the palace also served as the backdrop for the Rolling Stones' 2016 performance on Copacabana Beach, in which they built a catwalk to reach the stage directly from their hotel room. Taking place on New Year's Eve, the show was massive, considered one of the largest free rock concerts in history, but the actual record was set at a Rod Stewart gig back in 1994, also on Copacabana Beach. Over its 100 years, some of the pivotal moments in Rio's and Brazil's history have been intertwined with the Copacabana Palace. So let's see what the next century has in store for one of Brazil's most iconic landmarks.